Here's 5 acoustic guitar effects that'll wow your crowd at your next gig. Check it out. Are you an acoustic guitarist that's looking to add some flavour to your live sound? Here's 5 acoustic effects that will wow your crowd and will make your performance pop. Plus, stick around to the end of the video as I'm going to share with you my secret pedal board setup that will allow all of these effects into one small condensed unit at a really affordable price. The first effect we're going to talk about, reverb. Now for reverb, you really need to cater to your venue. If you're playing in a big hall or a massive space or a really long venue, you want to make sure that you're dialing that back to a smaller size, because realistically, reverb is something that happens quite naturally when you perform anyway. So if you do need to add reverb, add to flavour, add to taste, and make sure that it is the right thing for the gig. This first example I'm going to give you will show you what it is to have a dry signal on your guitar with no effects, no reverb, and then by adding just a little bit of reverb, just how much that can fill out your sound to make sure that it really is standing out in the mix. The second effect is either boost or compression. Now the boost versus compression conversation has caused many debates over the years. In my opinion, it really comes down to what's your personal preference and what your choice is for what you like to hear. In this next example, I'm going to show you how I would use a boost pedal, and in particular why I would use that in a fingerstyle type of environment where a particular song or a passage of song might really need boosting up because it is just purely fingerstyle. How that boost pedal between 8 to 12 dB boost really brings that up in the mix, draws attention to the fingerstyle, and is that slight volume bump that you might need for the dynamics of the song. The third effect for acoustic guitarists, and in particular a live looping acoustic guitarist or someone that's building up a dynamic or a wall of sound, is a bass effect. Now this is where the bass players cringe, and I get it. I'm going to put my hand up and say I'm not a bass player, and I've got a lot of bass player mates who probably cringe when I do this. But when I'm playing in a duo, I need to have a bass line. I need to have something that's going to drive that rhythm section of the song to lock in with either my drum machine, which I'll tap in as I go, or my percussive slaps that I use on my looper board. But that bass just adds a whole nother dimension to your track, to your song. And I guarantee you, when your audience hears that, they're not going to expect that from an acoustic guitar, and they're not going to expect that from a performance where it is one acoustic guitarist on stage. Check it out. The fourth effect, which is really going to wow your crowd, is all about adding a little bit of flavour or layers to the cake, as I like to talk about. If you talk about recipes, adding a bit of icing on top of the cake is the fourth effect, which is tremolo. Now the way I use tremolo in this environment, again I'm referring to a live looping situation, tremolo would be either pan left or pan right, and I'd use that just to add some dimension to the song. There's so many different aspects going. You might have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tracks going in a live looping setup. The tremolo just helps tell a part of that story. Now, how you like to use your tremolo or what type of tremolo that is completely up to you. This particular example is an optic tremolo, so for me, it sits nicely in the mix. It has a really nice sound to it, a really nice flavor to what I like to add to the music, and I find that it helps really build up the layers of a live loop. Now, if the last effect was the icing on the cake, the fifth effect is the cream that goes with the cake. Cream. Interesting choice for this effect. What is it? It's either an auto wah or a filter. Wow, wow. Now, a lot of you might be saying, why would you use an auto wah or a filter with an acoustic? And you know what? Good point. If you're doing Tommy Emmanuel covers and you put on an auto wah or a filter, A, I'm pretty sure that Tommy would shoot daggers at you, and quite rightly so. But B, if you're doing an acoustic set that's purely based on natural acoustic sounds or songwriting, you might not want to use this particular effect. In an environment where you're in a cover band or a duo or solo and you're building again that music, the repertoire of being able to have an auto wah or a filter in your arsenal adds so much dimensional flavor or possibilities to your track. Whether it's using it over the top for a wah style effect on a tune, using it for lead lines, the possibilities are endless, like any effect on how you want to apply it. I really find that when you play this in the context of wowing your crowd, I can almost guarantee you a crowd is not going to expect you to rip out an auto wah or a wah sound when you're playing live in a solo or a duo act. Check out the auto wah I've got dialed in here. Okay, here's my secret weapon when it comes to the pedal board. Now obviously with all of these pedals, you have to have a ton of different pedals on your pedal board. It's a really good excuse to go and buy more because you're not going to get in trouble from your other half if you do that. But realistically, with all of these effects, you have to have a massive pedal board. No, you don't. Here's my secret weapon. The Line 6 HX Stomp XL. You can see here from my pedal board that I have my input going into the Loopy Pedals junction box, going into the TU3 tuner. The reason why I have that tuner there is for silent tuning on stage or just a really good kill switch if you are playing live, just to cut that sound right out. From there it goes into the HX Stomp XL. Now this here is all of those sounds that you just heard, plus quite literally thousands more. It's actually frightening how many sounds are on there. Now, once upon a time, I strayed away from effects units like this because I'm a bit of a simpleton. I like getting in and dialing in some sounds that I like. I do not like spending hours and hours going through a computer system to dial in the perfect sound. The HX Stomp XL for me was perfect because it had a really good foundation there, and I found myself adding to that with this sound. So as you can see on here, the effects I've got on one patch, and I use this as a stomp box when I play live to pull in all of these effects in and out, plus other ones that I can use. On the other side, the left side, you can see a mic toggle, loop pedals mic toggle, and what that does is that connects through to the Boss RC600. So when I'm beatboxing, I can have that go straight through a loop, have that set up ready to go. With the aux input on the loopy pedals, that's where I plug in my MPC-1 drum machine, which finger tapping the drums in, I use the percussive side and also the beatboxing to create the sounds. If you want to see more details around how I use acoustic guitar directly through the Line 6 HX Stomp XL, please subscribe and like on the channel and keep your eye out for the videos coming shortly.